Hello everyone, and welcome to chair yoga. Set yourself up so you're sitting on the edge of your chair, but your hips are still well supported. And then take your knees about hip distance apart and line up your ankles right underneath your knees. Use an inhale to roll your shoulders back onto your back and lift up tall through the very top of your head. Your hands can rest on your lap or on your armrests. And then allow your eyes to close. Bring your focus to your breath. Your natural rhythm of breath in and out of the nose. Bring a hand to your heart and a hand to your ribs. And as you breathe, feel the rise and fall of your chest, that expansion and contraction of your rib cage. Stack both hands over your heart. Take a big breath. And then draw your palms together to touch in Anjali Mudra. Allow your fingertips to connect. And on your inhale, lift tall through the very top of your skull. On your exhale, bow your head towards your hands. Take a big breath. And then softly open your eyes, release your hands to your legs. Walk your hands all the way up to the top of the thighs at your hip creases, and then re-engage your shoulders onto your back. Tuck your chin down towards your chest and give a little shake of your head no, down towards the ground. As you take your chin to the left and the right, see if you can bring it a little bit higher on each side. Take one more to each side. And then with your chin tucked down towards your chest, take a small nod down towards the ground. Keep your chin tucked down towards your chest and re-engage your shoulders onto your back. Slowly roll right ear to right shoulder. Take your gaze up towards the ceiling. Drop left ear to left shoulder and tuck your chin down towards your chest. Let's do one more head roll in this direction. Moving slowly. And then as you tuck your chin down, switch the direction, going to the left, up, right, and down. Last head roll. Good. Then inhale, come to your tall spine. Re-engage your shoulders onto your back. You're going to take your left hand to either the leg of your chair or the seat of your chair, and then drop your right ear to your right shoulder. Let your right hand hang and lean to the right as far as you can. Take a big breath into the left side of the neck. Inhale, come back to center. Take a hold of the right side of your chair at the leg or the seat. Re-engage your shoulders back. Drop left ear to left shoulder. And then lean to the left. Breathe into your right side of your neck. Inhale, come back up. Your right hand is going to press down into the seat of the chair by your hip. And then take left hand up towards the sky. Lean over to the right as far as it feels good. Keep your shoulders on your back. Good. Inhale and come back to center. Left hand to the seat of your chair. Press down into your seat. Right hand goes up towards the sky. Lean over to the left. Leave space for your head and your neck. Take a big breath. Inhale, come back up to your tall spine. Take your arms wide up overhead. Exhale your hands down to your heart. Inhale and reach. Exhale, hands directly out from your shoulders. Let your palms face forward. And then you're going to open through the heart space. Reach the backs of your hands towards the wall behind you. On your exhale, you're going to take right hand over left. Bring opposite hand to shoulder or give yourself a hug, however it feels the most comfortable. Lift your elbows up in front of your throat and then tuck your chin down towards your chest. Start to curl through the spine, let your pelvis tilt back. Take a big breath into your back body. Inhale, come back up to your tall spine. Open through the heart. Reach your hands back towards the wall. And then exhale, you're taking left hand over right to whatever version of arms feels the best. Lift your elbows, tuck your chin down towards your chest, and start to curl through the spine. Take a big breath into that space between your shoulder blades. Inhale, come back up to your neutral spine. Take your arms wide and release them down by your sides. Inhale, hands up towards the sky. Exhale your hands down to your third eye. Inhale and reach. Exhale, bring your hands down. Again, take your arms out at your sides. This time, without looking, see if you can bring your fingertips to touch. Once you find your fingertips, press them into one another. Make a little globe with your hands. And then as you press your fingers into one another, lift your heart space. Take your gaze up towards the sky. Let your pelvis tilt forward. Take a big breath. Good. Exhale your hands down to your knees. Curl through the spine. Let your gaze go down to the floor. Inhale, come back to your neutral spine. We're going to stand up out of our chairs and come to the left side of your chair. You're going to take your right foot underneath your seat of your chair, pointing towards the seat. And then you're going to step back about 2 to 3 feet, depending on how long you want your stance to be. Your toes, your left toes are pointing towards the front of the room. Your outside edge of your foot is parallel to the wall. Take your hands to your hips and then pop your hips to the left. So as you shift your hips, you should feel a little bit of a stretch happening through the inner thigh. And then with your hand at your chair, you're going to start to hinge sideways over your extended leg. You can leave your hand at the back of the chair or bring it to the seat, wherever it feels good. Keep your heart space open, shoulders stacked. And if you'd like, you can take top arm towards the sky or maybe over your ear. Take a big breath. Bring your hand back to your hip if it wasn't there already. Inhale, slowly come back up. You're going to step back into that front foot. Bring your foot a little bit farther away from your chair, but it's still right in the middle, pointing towards your chair. And then square your hips towards your seat. You're going to slide your left toes back and let your tippy toes touch the ground. And then from here, you're going to start to lift your heel. Flex your foot. Begin to lift your leg. You're going to hinge forward at the hips. You can decide how far you're going to fold. Wrap this left hip down and under to help square your hips. Imagine rotating your inner thigh of your left leg up towards the ceiling. Good. You can take your hands out in front of you in a full warrior 3, or you can keep your hands at your chair. One more big breath. Good. Inhale, start to come back up, let your footprint come to the floor. We're going to move to our other side. You don't have to move, you can just do your other side if you like. But we're going to bring our left foot right underneath the seat, pointing towards your chair, and then step back a couple of feet. You decide how long your stance is. Take your foot parallel to the outside edge of your mat or the wall, so your toes are pointing forward, hands at your hips, and then shift your hips to the right. You should feel stretch already here. Then you're going to hinge at your side. You can bring your hand to your thigh, to the back of your chair, or to the seat. Stay open through the heart space. You're welcome to keep your hand on your hip or take it up or over ear. Press your hand into your chair, your supporting hand. Take a big breath. Bring your top hand back to your hip and slowly inhale back to your tall spine. You're going to shift your hips forward. Bring that left foot a little bit farther away from your chair so that you have space to move towards the seat. And then with your hips squared towards your chair, slide your right toes back. You can keep your hand at the seat here. Start to lift your heel, and as you do, you're going to flex your foot. You're hinging forward at the hips as you lift your leg. Wrap that right hip down and under so they're parallel. You're rotating the inner thigh of your back leg up towards the ceiling. You're welcome to extend that right arm if you'd like. One more big breath. Good. Inhale. Start to come back to your tall spine. From here, you're going to come around to the very back of your chair. And with your hands at the back, you're going to start to walk your feet back. Hinge at your hips. You're folding as you walk your hips back. Leave a little bend in the knees. And come to your modified downward facing dog. In your down dog, grip the ground with your toes and then rotate inner thighs in towards one another. Send your sit bones back and broad. Leave a little bend in the knees. Take a big breath. You're going to bend your right knee, send your left hip back in space. Bend your left knee, send your right hip back in space. Keep both feet planted as you pedal out your legs a little bit here, taking your hips side to side, lengthening from hip to armpit. Take one more to each side, and then come back to center. Slowly start to walk back towards your chair. We're going to come around to the front of your seat. And I want you to stand so that your legs can almost touch or maybe touch your chair. Take your feet hip distance apart and then pick up your toes and spread your toes and then grip the ground with your feet. Give yourself a little bend in the knees and take your hands to your hips. Roll your shoulders onto your back. You're going to start to bend your knees, and as you bend your knees, you're going to stick your sit bones back and broad. Tone your low belly. Shift your weight into the heels of your feet. You're still gripping the ground with your toes. Lower your hips a little bit farther. You're squeezing your legs in towards one another. That low belly is toned. Slightly tilt your tailbone down. Good. You're still lifted through the heart space. One more big breath in your chair pose. And then go ahead and take your hands to your seat. Slowly lower back into your chair. Shift your hips all the way back so you can rest and relax in your seat. And let's go ahead and bring our hands together at our hearts. Allow your eyes to close if that feels okay. And bring your focus back to your breath. Honor yourself for taking this time for you today. Namaste.